Hello, everyone. Hello. It's so good to see you and welcome to another exciting live event in collaboration with the National Literacy Trust and Premier League Primary Stars. As ever, it is brilliant to see so many of you joining us from across the country. And if you've been feeling a bit hot and bothered over the past few days, I know I have, let me reassure you now that this morning's event is going to be really cool. See what I did there? It's going to be cool. Okay, enough of the dad jokes. I'm your host, TV presenter, and president of the Patrick Bamford fan club. We love you, Leeds. It's Ben Shires, and I'm delighted to be joined today by not one, but two rather talented types to discuss reading, writing, and maybe just a little smidgen of football too. This time it's double trouble as we welcome Alex Falase-Koya and illustrator Marta Kissi. And they've been working with someone who, well, you may just have heard of, the one and only Marcus Rashford. Yes, they've been working with Marcus to create the brilliant The Breakfast Club Adventures, The Beast Beyond the Fence. It's a can't put down, page-turning detective drama that showcases teamwork, friendship, and tenacity. We'll be chatting to those two very shortly, and I may just have to ask about the main man, Marcus, too. But before that, there are a couple of things to remind you of. Firstly, and you'll know this if you've seen any of these events before, the more that you lot watching today get involved, the better this event will be. So make sure you say hi to us. You can do that by writing in the comments and telling us your name, your age, and your town so we can give you a shout out. Teachers, if you're going to be shouting out for your class or your school, remember to tell us what the class are and where the school is as well so we can give you a full and proper shout out. And whilst you're doing that, you can also give us your answers to the activities as we go through the event and send in your questions for Alex and Marta too. They're really looking forward to answering those at the end of the session. Another exciting thing to mention, and this is very exciting, you'll see why shortly, is that we're joined today by Year 4 from Holden Clough Primary School in Tameside, which is in Manchester, who are very kindly going to be helping us with our activities. In fact, I think it's time to just check in on them and see how they're doing. So, the Year 4 Holden Clough, are you there to give us a wave? Are you there? I think they're there. I think they're coming. Where are they? We're going to need some cameras on, and here they are. Here they are. Give us a wave. Woo! The wonders of technology. Well, we'll be hearing a lot more from them shortly. But for now, Holden Clough, we'll catch you very soon. And finally, before we crack on, there is one more very exciting thing to let you know. And that is later on, we'll be announcing how you can win a box of books for your school by taking part in our challenge. So make sure you stick around till the end for all the details. All that and loads more coming up, of course, but right now it's time to kick off the show, and we're going to do it in style by getting to know Marta and Alex. Hello, both of you. Good morning.
Morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Great to see you both. I've got lots of questions for you, and we've also got our cheeky challenge coming up too. But before we get cracking with it all, let's just get to know you a little bit better. And I'm going to ask the first quizzy that's on everyone's lips, obviously. What's it like to work with the Marcus Rashford? Alex, I want to hear it from you first.
It's amazing. He's such a cool person and such a great role model. He was really instrumental in helping us provide some of the key themes and ideas so that we could kind of write this book and make it as best as possible.
That's brilliant. And how about you, Marta? I mean, did he have a strong idea of what he wanted the illustrations to be like, or did you bring them to him? How does that relationship work?
Well, I think, I was getting lovely feedback from him because, I didn't have a chance to actually meet him directly, but through the teamwork, through the publisher, we were able to sort of hear, his opinions. He was writing back, and I think he really liked the illustration. So I was very lucky that there weren't too many comments, too many changes, which was brilliant. So I think he was pleased. So yeah.
That's brilliant. And I know that Marcus Rashford reads a lot of books and is really into his reading. So he obviously knows what he likes. And how amazing must it be for you two to know that Marcus Rashford loves your work and is wanting to collaborate with you? I mean, that is a pretty cool thing.
It's brilliant. It's a dream come true, really. It's amazing.
Amazing, amazing. So, Marta, let's pick up with you with your illustration, because I think so many people like to draw, but not everyone feels like that they can become a professional illustrator. So, how did you become one? And did you always know that you were going to be one?
Well, you see, I think, well, I always really enjoyed drawing. I mean, and I think I was quite good at it from a quite young age. So naturally, I'll be gravitating and kind of, finding my way towards art. At school, I will be joining art clubs and doing all sorts of things like that. So, and I'd say quite early on, I think I knew I wanted to do something to do with art. I didn't know exactly what, because, being quite young and, not knowing exactly all the job titles out there. But as my drawing was getting better, and as I was, sort of picking my majors, so to speak, in school that were connected to drawing, to art, to history of art, whatever you call it, I was getting a clear idea that actually illustration might be the way, because it actually really helps you tell stories as well. So I like stories, I like to draw, and that seemed to be a lovely little middle point, so to speak. So, to go into that, and just tell stories for drawings, because, what a better way.
That's brilliant. And I love that idea as well, that your drawings, breathe beyond the illustration. They tell a story, they give emotions and all of that. I've got a question for you, Alex, but before I come to it, I just want to remind everyone who's watching, keep those shout outs coming in. I've seen there's loads coming. I'm going to start reading through some of them very shortly. So if you want your school and your class shouted out, get involved now. And also get your questions coming in for Alex and Marta too. You'll see that my questions are rubbish. They're basic. We need your brilliant, in-depth quizzes that we're going to be asking to them at the end. But before that, though, I'm going to give you one of my starters for 10. Alex, we've talked a little bit about the Breakfast Club adventures, but could you tell us what they are and what is a Breakfast Club investigator?
So yeah, the Breakfast Club Adventures, it's a really fun book. It is about a young boy called Marcus who one day kicks his favorite football over a mysterious school fence where everything that goes over it somehow disappears. So in order to track down his favorite football, he ends up teaming with the Breakfast Club Adventures, a group of young investigators at his school breakfast club. So yeah, he teams up with them, and they try and track down what their football, and end up running into the beast beyond the fence.
Crikey. I mean, it sounds exciting already. I know some people watching this will have already read it. I'm sure you love it if you do. If not, certainly go and seek it out after this session. And if you need any more inspiration to want to get into investigating yourself, this morning's activity is all about that. So we're asking for budding investigators and detectives, and we'll get onto that very shortly. But before we do, we've had a little chat with Alex and Marta now. I'd love to know who is watching from all around the country, and we've had loads of shout outs. So let's see if we can get through a few of these, shall we? We've got Mr. Marshall and Morecambe Bay Community Primary School. Hello to you. We've got Elder Class, Everton Heath Primary School in Bedfordshire. Hello. Lamach Primary School in Blackburn with Mrs. Jones. Hope you guys are keeping cool. Year 5C from Flanderwell Primary School in Rotherham. We got Miss Marlowe and Daily Class at Year 4 in Bolton, Haslam Park Primary School. We got the Emerald Class at Lane End Primary School in Buckinghamshire. We also got Year 3 at St Aidan's Primary School in Blackburn, and Year 5 from Spire Junior School. And we've got Ayrsham School have said we've got over 200 pupils in Key Stage 2 watching from Ayrsham Primary School in Middlesbrough in the northeast of England. Mrs. Price is with Year 4 Magnolia, and they are loving it. They can't wait to read Marcus's new book, Big up to Year 4 Magnolia, and big up to all of you who have got in touch so far with your shout outs. We love to hear from you. We love to know how much you're enjoying the session, and we also love to hear your questions for our authors and illustrators too. So keep those coming in. Well, I'll tell you what, I feel like we all know each other a little bit better now, don't we? And that means it's time to talk about the challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline what it's all about, and then we're going to get some top tips from both Alex and Marta. Does that sound cool with you guys?
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Yes.
Let's do this. So we know that the Breakfast Club adventures are about mysteries. I mean, after all, the Breakfast Club investigators need something to investigate. So the challenge today is to create a mystery. And to demonstrate exactly how that's going to work, I'm going to need some very special helpers. So let's welcome back Holden Clough to give us an expert showcase, because Year 4 already have their mystery in place. Year 4 at Holden Clough, are you there again? Yes, hello guys.
Yeah, hi Ben, hi guys.
Great to see you. And we've got Coach Nick there as well, who's going to help us along with our investigations. So Year 4, first and foremost, I've heard that tragedy has struck this morning. Something very special has gone missing in your class. Can you tell us what it is, please?
Water bottle, Ben. It's been a hot week this week and we've lost the water bottle. And I think the kids have been playing a few little tricks on us as well.
I mean, that is a tragedy, Nick. I can see in this.
Can't believe it. I'm sweating like mad.
I mean, I do see quite a few water bottles next to you. Just need to confirm that they're not the water bottles we're looking for.
Not them one, it's mine. I'm
very
dehydrating, Ben.
Oh no! Well, this
Really need my bottle.
It's a mystery that needs to be solved. It's a dreadful one, isn't it? We need to find that water bottle.
You guys and girls hidden it.
Okay, there's some suspicious looking faces there, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. All right, so everyone watching now, this is where you can get involved. We need to know by you guys getting typing in the chat what it is that's super special in your class that would cause calamity if it went missing. We know that for Holden Clough Year 4, it's Nick's water bottle. Perhaps for you, it's Bubbles the fish, or your teacher's packed lunch, or maybe even the under-11s football trophy. Whatever it is, now's the time to get chatting about it, and then put it in our chat, and I'll go through some of those in a little bit. But in the meantime, Year 4, I know that you've got some clues and a map that are going to help us and help your coach Nick to find the missing water bottle. This sounds like a very sensible approach to me. So let's take a look at those in just a minute. But before that, we've luckily got an expert map maker on hand in the shape of Marta, who's drawn many maps. So Marta, can you give us your tips on illustrating and map making?
Right, I think to start with, it's really important to kind of think about your key points that you really want to map out on your map. So, and while you're using your regular lines, it may be quite useful to have a slightly maybe thicker pencil or thicker pen or marker, and use that to suggest the key points, key elements on your map. So maybe a windowsill is important, or maybe a drawer by the desk is important. Then you can suggest it with a thicker outline, so it might be more interesting or easier to find it on your map. Another thing I may think about would be using color or shading. So you can, again, separate certain areas using color. So maybe a piece of furniture, or if you're using a larger space, maybe a building could be then just, separated basically from the rest of your map. And I also wouldn't worry too much about the scale. Obviously scale is important, but in this case, it's important to maybe use certain symbols as well. So so if you maybe trying to suggest a library, you could just draw a picture of a book, or maybe if we just thinking about a tank with some pets, you can just draw a little fish or a leaf. We can just be quite inventive in there. The most important thing is to communicate visually, and I'm sure you've got your own ways up your sleeve anyway.
I love that. And I love how you can have symbols to represent things on maps as well, because sometimes it can be a bit fiddly to draw it all out, particularly if you need something that you can hold. There's some brilliant tips there. Thank you so much, Marta. And you guys watching in your schools around the country will remember that I asked you a little while ago what would be a tragedy if it went missing in your classrooms, and we've already had some great answers. Class 4P, I don't know which school you're at, but you've said the roof. I can imagine that would be, I mean, you know, maybe on a day like today, not so bad. Rainy day, it's going to be awful. Oh, apparently that's Sacred Heart School in Battersea. Well, it's Sacred Roof School, I'd say. You need to keep hold of those tiles. Make sure they don't go walkabouts. We have got year 4 at Park Walk have said all the snacks for our class party this afternoon. Oh, that would be a travesty. That would be a travesty and a tragedy. I mean, I have no reason to suspect your teacher, but I am married to a teacher and I know that she can be a bit of a fiend when it comes to snacks. So just keep your eye on any teachers in the vicinity, because you never know what they might snaffle when you're not looking. We've got another school who have said our class mascot, Teddy, Dotty. Oh, make sure you don't lose Dotty. Oh, that would be upsetting. And oh, we've got year 3 at Parkview School said losing Miss O'Brien, our teacher, would be a tragedy. I can only assume that Miss O'Brien has typed that. So is that the truth, Miss O'Brien? Are you really the biggest loss in the school? Some fantastic answers there, guys. Brilliant. We'll try and get through a few more of those in a little bit, so do keep them coming in. But right now, we've been talking about maps, and we've got a map to look at from Holden Clough. So have we got someone on hand who can show us the map and talk us through it a little bit?
So this is the year 4 map for the classroom, and that we hidden Nick's water bottle. And I bet it's really hard for him to find it, because all the children's clues will blow his mind off.
Lots of mind-blowing clues and a mind-blowing map, Marta. There's so much detail on there, and it's laminated. I mean, excuse me, no spills to worry about.
Absolutely super professional. It's stunning, and I love all the detail. It's really, it's just professional. I mean, there's no better word. It's just amazing. I'm really proud of you. You guys did a fantastic job.
And they did all that, Marta, without hearing your top tips first, which...
Well, that's the thing. They don't need my tips. They can do my jobs.
Amazing. Okay. All right. So I think we need to think about clues now. And before we hear the clues that Holden Clough have, I think, Alex, you're obviously used to writing clues in your books. So can you tell us, how do you formulate a good clue?
So one thing you want to think about when you're writing a good clue is to try and use your words to really precisely say where things are located. You could say that something is over something, or under something, or inside something. Really think about the things on your map that you're pointing your clue reader to, and try and describe them in really descriptive ways. And also, if you're being a little bit cheeky, you can maybe use a little bit of a riddle, not give everything away in a clue, because a clue is a clue. It's not an answer. So yeah.
That is really, I love that. And I think there's a lot of cheekiness floating around on this session today. So I think maybe we might hear a riddle or two. Thank you for those clues about writing some good clues there, Alex. They were brilliant. And that does mean that we're all set now to hear from year 4 and their clues. So I'm going to pass over to Coach Nick, and could we find out what the first clue is and hopefully try and figure it out?
Okay, Ben, so we've got our first clue. Do you want to come in? Yeah. Read it nice and clear.
Okay. You will find a clue where there is an extreme amount of words. Look into my eyes, but don't get hypnotized.
Okay.
So a lot of words and eyes. So I've got to look into the eyes. Is it your eyes? Not your eyes, is it yours? Lots of clues. Where's the lots of words? Are they in the book? Am I getting warmer? No. Where can I go?
Cold, freezing, cold, warm, hot. Look a bit higher. You're really hot. Look up, everyone.
Okay.
Our second clue.
Daddy, you're up
So we've got
there.
our second clue, guys.
Okay. All right. So just to clarify there, Nick. So the first clue was somewhere there was lots of words, and look into my eyes, you'll be hypnotized. So where did you find it? What were you thinking about with that clue?
So with the clue, I was looking obviously for were there lots of words in the classroom. So it's something that the class have been working on at the back wall. They've got a lot of different words that they've been using within the English literacy. And also there are some masks where obviously it's got lots of eyes. And that was the clue that led me to where we were going to.
Well, it's a good job you weren't hypnotized, Nick. And you've got your next clue to read out now. So shall we go for it?
Yeah, definitely.
Your Charlie.
You'll find the next clue where people store their items up to the sky where the footballs fly.
So lots of items in the sky where footballs fly.
Okay.
So we've got socks on the ceiling. We've got pants that have been designed.
Is it hot or cold, everyone?
Oh.
Freezing, 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 it's freezing. Boiling.
Come on, Nick, you're boiling. Oh, brilliant. We can see where it is.
Boiling. He's found it. Give us that.
Oh, well done, well done.
Go back to our third clue. So
Oh, hang
Ben,
on. Before we go any further, Nick, so we lost you for a minute there because you were off in a different part of your lovely big classroom. So what were you looking for with that clue then?
we had to find something high like a football would go. And on the back, they've got a number of programs, football programs, and it was hidden to one of the football programs, and it was high up in the classroom.
Ah, right. Okay. All right. Well, this is all good. You're using your deducing skills there, Nick, to figure out these clues. Before we go any further, we do have an exciting point to mention here, and that is that we want you watching in your classrooms around the country to try and figure out where the treasure is going to be hidden. I know you've not heard the final clue yet, but you've had a little look around the classroom, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a poll in the chat that's going to give you some options as to where the treasure could be hidden. And what we want you to do is just click on the option that you think and tell us where you think it might be, and then we'll reveal the results of the poll very shortly. So there, you should be able to see your poll now, and it says, where is Coach Nick's treasure? And is it the bookshelf, teacher's desk, top of the whiteboard, recycling bin, fish tank, or hanging on the pegs? Now, you guys watching can vote now. Me and Alex and Marta, we can't vote, but we don't know where it is. Alex and Marta, have you got any guesses where you think the treasure could be?
That's the thing. Maybe a fish tank? I don't know. What do you think, Alex?
I think the recycling bin, maybe recycling bin.
I don't know. I'm really excited to see. I can't wait.
Yeah, we need to solve this mystery.
So we got a fish tank guess, we got a recycling bin guess. I'm gonna, I've had chance to, get to know Nick a bit now. I'm gonna guess he's left it on the teacher's desk and just completely forgotten about it. I think he just misled.
Blame all the kids.
All right. Have you had a chance in your schools to make your guess? I'm going to give you 10 more seconds, okay? And then we're going to have a look at the results of the poll, and then we're going to find out exactly, hopefully, where the treasure is, because Nick is going to follow the clue and find it. Okay, so 5 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. You've got 5 seconds to answer. Make it quick. We got a drum roll from Everton Heath Primary School. I love that. Excellent. Okay, the poll is closed. Let's get the results of the poll, please. Jim, who's working behind the scenes. Look at that. 43% of you say the fish tank. I mean, what?
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, Marta, you got it. I mean,
not yet. We'll see. But I've got some people behind me, clearly.
Yeah, I think you've influenced a lot of people. Only 4% of people say on top of the whiteboard. So that's a bit of an outsider guess. 6% went with me, teacher's desk. Alex said the recycling bin, 23% of people went with that. 13% on the hanging the pegs and 11% on the bookshelf. Great guesses all. It is truly a guess at this stage because we've not had the final clue. So, Coach Nick, I think now is time to hear that clue and see if you can solve it.
Definitely, because it's getting warmer. My third clue. Are you ready?
The final clue will be the hardest of them all. It's where precipitation, condensation, and evaporation all take place.
So condensation and evaporation all take place.
We're going to have everyone as you warm up.
Cold. I'm looking in the right direction. Is it towards the books?
It's getting a bit
Is it towards the books? Yes!
There it is!
Fantastic. But also, I see there's a little parcel as well. That's hidden with it. Okay, so would you like to open it up for me? So Ben, not only have we found our water bottle, we also have a fantastic box of books the school donated by yourselves with bookmarks and a range of different books for the students to use within the school. So thank you for that.
Thank
you.
That is brilliant. So mystery solved. Nick's water bottle was by the window the whole time. And we discovered a fantastic box of books from Manchester United Community Foundation and the Premier League Charitable Fund. And of course, from Mr. Marcus Rashford himself. Amazing work, everyone there. Give yourselves a big round of applause at Holden Clough. Very, very good, guys. We loved that. Great map making, great clue forming as well. Thank you ever so much for joining us, Year 4. That is it for today's workshop, but we do still have time for your questions for Alex and Marta. So you can keep asking those questions in the thread now whilst I take the first couple. This one comes in from Miss Wayman and the Otters class in Year 1-2 at Meadowview Primary School. Marta, this one's for you. What's your favourite book to read?
Oh dear. Well, I do like a bit of a mystery. So, Marcus was obviously a fantastic one to work on, but I'd say, well, when I was younger, about your age, kids, I really like Matilda by Roald Dahl. But these days, I really like Vivian French's books. They're really lovely, and I got a chance to illustrate them as well. And there's a lot of mystery and a lot of magic in them as well. And I like a bit of magic in the story as well. So, yeah, I'd say those two. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great answers. Thank you, Marta. And a brilliant question as well. This one comes in from Year 6 at Swansfield Park Primary. And this is for you, Alex. Have you worked with any other footballers?
Not yet. Not yet. Maybe in the future. But no, Marcus Rashford is my first footballer that I've worked with.
I mean, you've started off pretty high up there.
Yeah.
And you have sports people.
Yeah. No, the sports people. No,
I mean, Alex, I know that you're an Arsenal fan, so I mean, I'm not sure we can call them footballers strictly at the club. I mean, they're people who kick the ball.
Okay.
But would you like to work with one of them in the future?
Yeah. Obviously, I love Arsenal, so yes, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, watch this space. Amazing. Right, we've got time for one or two more questions. Let's go for this one from Henry at Everton Heath, who asks this to Marta. What was your favourite book to illustrate and what are you most proud of?
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it's hard to pick one, but I'd say I really enjoy doing a picture book. I do a lot of sort of middle grade books, but I did have a chance to work with Mo Farah a few years back. And that one, that was amazing. Because again, another super inspirational figure, and we got to draw lots of colourful spreads, lots of amazing action-packed sort of illustrations. I really liked it, and who knows, maybe some of you guys had a chance to read it when you were a bit younger, or some of your siblings maybe have it already at home. But yeah, that was definitely one of my favourites.
Amazing. All right, guys. Well, we are running out of time, but this is going to be a question for the both of you because lots of people have been asking this on the chat. So they want to know, how long does it take to write a book and how long does it take to illustrate one? So Alex, perhaps if we can come to you first, how long roughly did it take you to write this book with Marcus Rashford?
So it depends on what we mean by write a book, because writing books, like with many things, you're going to have multiple drafts, work at it a couple of times so that you can make the book as best as you can. And so it took me probably around maybe 4 or 5 months to going back and forth, getting feedback, working on it, to write it and make it as good as it ended up coming out, which I was very happy with.
Yeah, wow, that's a long time as well. 4 or 5 months. It's no weekend job, is it?
No.
And how about you, Marta? When it comes to the illustration, how long would you need to illustrate a book like this, let's say?
I'd say it's quite similar to what Alex said. It's never sort of one kind of afternoon or weekend job. You're starting with sketches, you're getting feedback from team and the authors, then you come back to it, rework it. You don't necessarily have to start from scratch again, but you're just enhancing, elaborating, making it better. But I'd say a few months as well, but with me, I tend to work on several projects at the same time, so it's quite hard to tell exactly. But if I was to like condense it into one, could be a month actually, sometimes it's 3 weeks, but because the project takes longer and there's so many people involved, authors, designers, editors, agents, it's a big team, it can take a little longer, but it's not a few months every day. That's not quite how it works. That breaks in between.
Sure, but still a long time. And as Alex and Marta have both pointed out there, it's not just the author or the illustrator. There's a huge team involved as well. And sometimes a Premier League and international footballer too. Well, there's some brilliant questions. Thank you so much for all of those. And Marta and Alex, it has been an absolute joy having you with us today. Thank you so much for helping us to solve our Manchester mystery. And I think you'll agree, we've got some budding investigators amongst us, haven't we?
Absolutely. Yeah, amazing.
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, don't forget, if you're watching along, to take part in our challenge by creating your own mystery to wow your friends with, using our free resources on the Premier League Primary Stars link on this page. And if you give it a go, you'll have the chance to win a special prize of a box of amazing books for your school, just like we saw get discovered earlier. And, oh, what's that? News coming in on my special literary earpiece. We can give one of those book boxes away right now. Yes, in a first for one of these events for me. All the schools who registered to be here today are about to go into the Wheel of Book Destiny, trademark pending. So Jim, have you got the wheel ready? Are they all the names of the schools that are with us right now? That is amazing. Right, okay, so we are gonna do the wheel spin, and I think it is spinning now. We're gonna get a winner very soon. And the winner is the winning school, Burton upon Staither Primary School. Well done to you guys. You have won yourself a box of books courtesy of the Premier League. So that is fantastic. Now, that was just exciting, wasn't it? I've never seen that before. A live wheel spin. Well, it just remains to say thank you for all joining us today. Of course, to Year 4 in Holden Clough Primary School in Thameside, Manchester, for their brilliant investigatory skills, and the Manchester United Community Foundation, and Nick, who is there as well to help them along. The Premier League, of course, as always, for their support, and the wonderful Alex Falase-Koya and Marta Kissi too. Weren't they brilliant? Thank you both to you for today. You were great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. And please thank publishers Pang Macmillan, who've ensured that you can all read chapter 1 of the Breakfast Club Adventures, The Beast Beyond the Fence, from this website for free. So please do that now. And all that remains for me to say is to look out for some more challenges and fun activities on the National Literacy Trust Words for Life website and the Premier League Primary Stars website. And for now, Go give yourself a challenge and get investigating. Goodbye. See you next time.